Hey, how you guys doing? It's Yikhai Wong here. And in this video, I just want to share with you my story about how I actually booked my first Ferrari, and coincidentally, it's also actually my first ever coding job. Right? I know it sounds really like it's no way it's possible, but it's actually true, and I actually have pictures to prove that I'll show you guys later. So the purpose of sharing this story with you is to basically to inspire you as a detailer that wants to get more of like those like the higher end cars, right? So, and also I just want to let you know that your skill set as a detailer, like, it's not the most important part. The important part is basically to position yourself and to basically to sell yourself as a detailer, and making sure like your potential clients actually sees the value in detailing and able to book it in at the price point that you want to charge what you're worth. Know your worth, as they say. So now, just before we get right into it, I just want to shout out to Damon. So I just got off the call with the details that I'm currently working with, and it's super exciting because I'm shout out to Damon because he actually booked his first four-figure job on this Maserati right here. So I've been working with Damon for a while now, and he actually closed up his shop for like a few months due to like the pandemic and everything. He recently just got back into it. He started like changing like some of like stuff in his business, and he's really scattered, right? So he hopped onto a call with me. I set him straight, and 1 week later, he booked his first four-figure job. So really congratulations on that if you are watching this. And I was just like talking to like Chris, and I've been working with Chris for like 3 weeks now, and he was just telling me like his progress, and he booked a correction and coding for $1,500 and some of the higher scale detail. And I was on the phone with Noah as well, just like catching up with him to making sure that he's all good, and he's really like pushing out his like promotional materials to push out his business details. They are crushing it. It's amazing. Yeah. So back to the story. Like, this is back in 2015, right? So I think this happened like late 2015. So I started my business on the 1st of January of 2015. Like that, like New Year at the day, I told myself, you know what, I'm not gonna find a job, because at the time I'm actually I was struggling to get a job, and I was getting a little bit desperate. So I decided to start a detailing business. Best decision ever, like, honestly. So yeah, because like I have like a huge passion of cars. Like I'm a huge car guy, and all of that good stuff, because I'm sure like most detailers, like, they are car guys as well. So what happened was, yeah, I started my business, and within the first like month or so, I actually started working with another detailer at the time, and I was subcontracting for him to do the general stuff, like the lower end details, the grimy interiors, the full details, all of that, right? I was charging like the interior detail, I was charging like 140, and then like full detail for like 220 to like 260. Maybe like sometimes I would get like $300. 6 months in, I'm really sick of it, right? Because all these cars, they're just so filthy. It's not fun at all, right? Like, sometimes I even question like myself, like, why am I cleaning somebody else's vomit? Why am I cleaning um, somebody else's like pet hair? It's not fun, right? So, and then at the time as well, I was part of this detailing Facebook group, and people would talk about, like, how they charge like $1,500 for like a correction and coding. People would charge like $1,200, $1,800, and then some people are like wet sanding and stuff, they're charging like 2-3 grand. And I'm thinking like, man, like, some of the customers that I'm getting, like, they are struggling to pay like more than $300. How are these guys are charging like four figures, right? So I really like couldn't figure it out. So, and what really like the basically the turning point, if you will, is I actually started getting into codings, and I realized that coding is the key. And I was looking at how much people are charging for codings. Well, I actually, at first, I couldn't, like, I just couldn't believe it, because like, how can people pay so much for a correction in coding? So I started like muddling around with like different like on the internet, was like reading about it. I didn't have the confidence to do any coding jobs. I was feeling like, man, like is this even possible? All that kind of stuff, right? These guys has been established for so many years, and I'm just I'm just starting my business barely like even a year in. So I stumbled across like this coding brand. I actually flew up to Sydney. I sort of meet up with the guy, went into his shop, and when I was there, I kid you not, I actually saw Mighty Kamot's Mook's Mini, right? It was there, and I was like, holy shit, that like it's some serious shit like going on, right? So and like meeting him, it was like super like it's very like surreal. And what happened was like he was getting me like an intro for like about the codings, right? And at that time, he actually just booked in a like that guy, like he actually just booked in a 930 turbo for like $1,500. And I was like, holy shit, this is real. Like now I actually truly believe it. Like okay, like it is actually possible to book in details for like more than like $1,000. Before that, I was a bit like skeptical, like is this even like legit, like can people actually charge that much for a detail? But until you have seen it in person, like you wouldn't truly believe like you wouldn't truly believe it, right? Until you actually seen it in person. And when I saw it in person, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get this down. I'm gonna get away from like the general grimy interior jobs. I'm gonna focus in zooming in on the questions and codings. And he was telling me like I was like getting on board with this coding, and he was telling me like you have to charge at least $500 as an upsell on top of paint correction. And at that time, I was like, man, I don't even know like how to actually properly do like paint correction, right? I just don't have the skills to do it, and more alone charge like $1,000 for it. So I went back. I went back home. I went back to Melbourne, and I was like, okay, I gotta map this thing out. And I started looking at those guys that are like charging like $1,500, $2,000 for coding, and I started looking at their businesses, right? And they look professional, right? They look like you will bring like if you like. And then here's like my thought, right? If I have a exotic car, or if I have like a high-end car, if I have like a AMG or something, would I bring my car to myself, or would I bring my car to them? Because they have that image down, right? They have that branding down, they have the name down, they have the whole vibe of the business, right? It's very professional. It's very, the branding is there. It's not some like sleazy dude that just rock up with some like cleaning, some detailing stuff and detailing cars, right? So the first thing I did was I branded myself. I branded myself not as a car cleaning guy, but more as a professional detailer. And so that's what I did. I just want to show you guys real quick here about like how like I made the switch. So this is my old website. I have no idea how this is still online. So this is basically my old website, and look at the work that I do. I'm just gonna go to portfolio here real quick, right? The work that I do is just normal like everyday cars, right? It's nothing special. Like it looks like a guy that would charge like $300 or 2 to $300 for a full detail. Right? That's what it looks like, and I don't want to be that way because I don't want people to call me up and say like, hey, like how much to clean my interior on my Honda Accord, because that's not what I want, right? So like. And that's what I'm charging, like mini detail and polish for like 140, like it's crazy. So I brand myself like totally different. I brand myself like I started shifting up my brand. I started becoming the guy that is like more premium, more like upscale, and that's what I did. Right, so this is my new so like this is my new website. I did about like 5 years ago, right? Up until now, like it's still generating like proper like targeted leads like all the time. So that's what I did, and that's when things actually start changing. And when I did rebranding, I actually like started like spending money on the ads as well. I was spending like, I don't know, like a couple like I was spending like a bit on Google AdWords, a bit on like Facebook ads. And so one day when I was doing that transition, this guy actually literally like he gave me a call, and he said, hey, I want to get my Ferrari cut and polished. How much do you charge? So at that time, I'm thinking like, oh man, like I hate the term cut and polish. By the way, like it's I just don't like that term. People that use that term normally they don't value detail a lot, because the way they talk, like the way someone like, just to give you a quick idea, right? The first 5 minutes on the phone with someone, I immediately know whether or not that person is gonna book it in for like $1,000 to like 2 grand for correction and coding, right? Like it's not about like, I don't want to judge someone by its cover, but the way they ask questions, the way they talk, you can tell like whether or not like they're serious about like booking in their cars in. So he gave me a call, like he literally like he sound like one of those guys that just want to get it done like for like a couple $100. So my response to that is like, hey, like it's a Ferrari. I really don't know like what's the condition, what they want to achieve with it, blah blah blah. And then I said like, hey, like why don't I just swing by and have a look, and we can just decide what we want to do with the car. So booked in a time for me to come in and have a look, and when I rock up, he didn't say anything. He's like, here's the keys. I trust you. Just I just want my car to look. I just want my car to look brand new again, or as new as it could. And this car, it's freaking immaculate, right? There's nothing like wrong with it. There's barely any spots in it. I'm thinking like, okay, like I'm just gonna polish it and see what happens. And at the time, I actually don't know paint correction, like how to actually properly do paint correction. And the purpose for this story as well is like, don't get too tied up in your skills, because I know as detailers we are super OCD. We want to become one of the details of like in like details of Instagram, all that stuff, right? I get that, but that's the not like running a business. That's not the most important part. The most important part is knowing how to sell, knowing how to present your offer, like how to show the value, and how to actually let them see your value, let them see like what you're worth, let them see the true art and form of what detailing actually is. So like I started like at the time, it's really weird, because normally like me and my client will agree on the price first before I even start working on the car. He didn't do that at all. He just asked me to get cracking on it. So when I was working on it halfway, so I literally like just told him like, hey, since we are polishing the car anyway, do you want to get your car ceramic coated? It's gonna last for 5 years, and that will allow you to lock in the gloss, so we don't have to like polish it again for the next like 5 years. He literally asked me like how much. So I said like, hey, like normally I would charge $600, but since we are doing it, since we're doing it as a package, since I'm really doing it in your car, I'll be happy to do like $500 on top of the polishing. So he literally just said, let's do it, right? So when I finished the car, he did not even ask me like how much it cost. He just said, just email the invoice to my company and I'll pay it, right? So on the drive home, I'm like, oh man, like how much should I even charge him? Because he's freaking loaded. Like he has this huge like car collection. He has several different cars. So I'm thinking like what to charge him, right? I'm like not thinking, but I'm actually severely like undercutting myself, because I spent 2 days working on the car, completely like nerve-wracking. My first Ferrari, I don't even know how to like paint correct, and literally like one guy like on the group, he told me like, at the end of the day, it's just a car with the paintwork. Just do it as you would with any other car. Just be a little bit more careful, and that's about it. I took the advice to heart, by the way, because I think like at the end of the day, so what, it's a Ferrari. It's still a car with the paintwork, right? So the fundamentals are still the same. So what I did was I went back home, and then I just figured out like, man, like, how much should I charge? Because at the time, like I seen guys charge like $1,500, $2 grand for it, but that's more intense. I'm not nowhere at the level yet. So what I did was I just like thinking $360 for correction, $500 for coding. That's what I did. All right. So I sent him an invoice, and oh, by the way, I'll show you like the Ferrari, because it's actually like on like my homepage, because I haven't updated my website in a long time. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the Ferrari F430. Like that's the first Ferrari and the first coding I did. When I tell someone this story, like people will be like, "Oh, you're just bullshitting me." Like, there's no way your first coding is your first coding is your first supercar you ever did. It happened. I have proof, right? And then yeah, like that's the coding that I was using. So yeah, so I sent him an invoice. I was just looking back. Oh, this is like October, like 2015. I got the email here. I sent him the invoice. It was still at the old branding, and then it's like $860, right? And yeah, it was super funny. He paid for it. I was like, holy shit, you know what? That changed my life. That was the turning point of my business, because that point I know, okay, you know what, there's a market for it. I'm gonna double down on that. I'm gonna start branding myself that way, start chasing those like high dollar items. Start like, I don't want to be a car cleaning dude. I don't want to be just another guy cleaning cars for like $250 on the filthy interiors with, you know, like pet hair, like dried up coffee and all that kind of stuff. I just want to get away from that, and I want to do something meaningful, right? That's the first, like, that's the seed, like the seed of like how I actually like grew like my business up to this point. And I really hope this story like inspire you, because at the end of the day, the most important thing, right, is not about, oh my, like how good can I paint correct. At the end of the day, it's about, you know, like it's about knowing how to know, like here's one thing, because I feel like details, they truly like they focus too much on the detailing side of things. They, when they should focus more on the business side of things. The business side of things is like 80% of your business. The detailing skill set is probably like 20% of it. And a lot of details, what they do is like they neglect the business side of things, right? And yeah, so like I hope this inspire you. Just let me know in the comment section what do you want me to talk about in the future. I hope you guys like this video. So if you want to learn more, if you want to get into the questions and codings, if you want to start generating like those customers and knowing how, I actually made a free training video, a 29 free training video down in the resources section down below. Not resources, I mean, man, it's, in the description down below. So like just click the link, watch the 29-minute video, and if you are watching this on my Facebook group, just click like somewhere like on the top. It's somewhere. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope it inspire you. So if you like it, just let me know what you think, and what if you want me to make like more videos like this covering some like tips or tricks, some tactics, some strategies. Just feel free to like comment and let me know, and I'll make a video on it. Alright, so enjoy, and I will speak to you guys soon. Thanks.